Hi, my name's Rachel. I'm a master's student at the University of Manchester. I'm studying library and archive studies. And as part of my master's, I'm doing a 20-day placement here at the University of Salford in the archives with archivist Alex Mitchell. And as part of my placement, I've been working with the Revans Collection for Action Learning, which is a collection of papers, flipcharts, photographs, personal letters from the academic Reginald Revans. So in this collection, there's all sorts of materials, but something that was really interesting to us was a set of flipcharts that Revans used in his work. And basically when he gave lectures or talks, he would use these large flipcharts with his own hand-drawn graphs, data, bar charts, drawings. And they're really, really interesting to look at visually, and they hold a lot of context about his work. But because they're so big and some of them are quite old, they were getting really damaged when they were being taken out and unrolled and rolled up. So we decided to digitize those. And these are now on Salford Digital Archives as the Revans Collection for Action Learning. So a lot of the flipcharts are about Revans' work in the coal mining industry, in education, in nursing, and there's many about the economy, specifically in Belgium. He worked in the Belgian economy for a while. But some really interesting pieces were his own sort of personal doodles almost. He was a very, very talented illustrator and artist. And there were a set of these flipcharts that looked like optical illusions almost. And he has obviously just had fun playing around with words, drawing, how he visualizes that. And there were some really interesting pieces there that were a lot of fun to look at and almost try and decipher, which is really cool. One of the key pieces that I find really interesting in this collection is a graph that Revans made when he was working in a port. And basically he's tracked the hours of daylight at this port and really meticulously drawn a really interesting line graph. And it creates a very cool geometric pattern, the way the daylight has changed over the week. So that's one of my favorite ones. Another really interesting key piece from this collection is a graph that Revans made about replacing old generators. And he's done almost a 3D style graph that has sort of steps, and it creates a really interesting mathematical look. And I just think he had a really good eye for visualizing data and making that look really appealing on the page. A really rewarding part of this experience has been learning about a totally new topic that I didn't know anything about. So I studied English literature, I'm now studying archives, I've worked in digital marketing. I don't really know much about business or academics, so it's been really great to learn about that. And also Reginald Revans had a really interesting life. He was an Olympic long jumper. He studied at Cambridge and brushed shoulders with Einstein and other nuclear physicists. And he's just had the most amazing, illustrious career. So I found it really interesting learning about that. I think what people need to know about working with archives is they really are open to everyone. Most material is available for the public to see, you just have to ask. So I know when I was a student, I didn't realize that I could just go and request to see something. So I think people think of archives as for historians, researchers, academics, but really they're for everyone. And if you have an interest in a particular piece or a collection, all you have to do is ask the question and hopefully you'll be able to see it. So the Reginald Revans Collection for Action Learning is available at the University of Salford Archives. You can see any of the printed material upon request, but all of the flipcharts are now digitized and available on Salford Digital Archives for you to view anytime you like.